Right, Descartes.
Cloaking device.
Okay. Thank you. I'll get on that.
No. Just don't tell nobody.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's a ding.
That's a ding. Yeah.
And after earning 5 off of last week, it's going to be a long dry spell for me. So,
Well, maybe you should act more like a Starfleet officer. You ever think of that?
No.
yeah, I don't
I'm
take
just
career
saying.
advice from Borg sympathizers, really.
Collaborator, get it right.
Of course,
no.
of course. You're not sympathetic. You've just gone along
Right
with it.
now, I'd say more of independent contractor.
Oh,
Borg
God.
independent contractor.
Yeah, you've got to file
Not
your
for
own
the collective.
taxes.
All of the nanites, none of the benefits.
That's
For
right.
the nanites, none of the benefits.
So, what is Arafina's
Thanks. I'm glad that was
status
received.
going into this episode?
Back to
Arafina.
full duty because she
Okay.
didn't decide to go with the combined cases. She went with keeping her case separate because it was much more clear cut, and then providing evidence and expert testimony in the other cases.
I don't know why I want to keep wanting to make Anafina's N and R color Arafina.
I keep almost the amount of times I've almost slipped up and said Aquafina. Like,
On the back of that, hello everyone, I'm A.D. Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and we're doing another episode of Star Trek Age of Empires. No, not that one. And, yeah, my character isn't under arrest, but she is in danger of becoming a water bottle. So, we'll find out how that's going to come about this episode, I think. I think that's totally what Hard Heads and Hard Hearts is all about. That's seems logical to me, but we'll see if the GM surprises us. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Captain Arcos.
All right. Captain's log. Captain Razora Arcos, USS Vanguard, stardate 42930.4. We're on to the final quarter of our first patrol after our brief stop at Starbase K8. Although there was not much for us to check in on, with the full forward tactical squadron of the Third Fleet there, preparing to counterattack a Cardassian incursion. I find myself wondering where this conflict will take us. It'll have to be a diplomatic solution, surely, but how much destruction will be needed to bring everyone to the table? And what will those in power think worth sacrificing for peace? Our next step is our first beyond the main Federation subspace network. Most of the worlds out here only joined the Federation in the last 30 years, and many of them joined to avoid subjugation by the Cardassians. Malat is one such world. The Molotians are humanoid species that by and large are uninterested in the wider galaxy. They are not, however, isolationist. Whereas the Federation mostly goes to other worlds to explore, the Molotians explore by inviting others to live on their world. Hopefully our patrol on their system will be engaging and routine. End log. Our directives are patrol around the Molotian homeworld, ensure the safety and security of Malat, and provide the people of Malat any aid required.
So we will start as you enter orbit of Malat.
or it's taking everything I have to not say we're in orbit of Malort.
For me, it's Merlot, but
That's
I
'cause you're-
applaud you both on your restraint.
That's because you're classier, dear.
Bunch of alcoholics.
recovering alcoholic. Thank you very much. It's an important distinction.
Oh, now I feel guilty.
I'll perform just a general sensor sweep, check what chips are in the area, see if there's anything navigationally an issue, that sort of thing.
Recent science, difficulty 2.
Reason science. I'll interface with my interlink node, so the ship will be able to reroll its d20. What's the starting threat?
Oh, 2 threat game. So 8.
And I presume we're both in this scene, so we'll start with 2 momentum.
That's true. I'll spend 1 of those. Buy a die. Bang. The ship.
Ship sensor science.
Sensor science. I'll leave that alone.
2 momentum gained. Systems, navigational, beacon is active and functioning normally. There are a myriad of vessels around and docked with a very small orbital station. A station that's just for ground to surface transport, really. And there's no unusual phenomena.
So we don't have a specific mission going in here.
It's a check-in.
Right.
Yep, just to check in.
Go ahead.
With the float, that was the most momentum that was created from us having high resolution sensors. I will just do a cursory scan. I'll look over the scans to see if any ship is transporting hazardous materials. Just keep an eye on where they are, because I'm presuming the dock is checking for them, but I'm checking for them manually, basically.
Yeah, you can spend that. And the answer is no. As expected, there is a couple of Klingon birds of prey. There's a old Romulan cruiser and several Ferengi vessels, all of which have been long since been disarmed, and you see no sign of any reversal on that. You also don't detect any transport ships with any cargo that would be dangerous.
I check the library computers and see what we know about this species and their culture.
Yes. Reason. Command.
Okay. Diff.
Assisted
two?
by computers command. Yeah, computers command. Yeah, we'll do diff 2 because, like I said, they don't really go anywhere else.
Right.
So the only information is about people who have come to. The only information recorded is about people who've come to them.
Okay. So, I don't have a focus that is going to fit. So but I'm going to give you a threat for a third die to also pop bold command. See if I can do anything tonight. Yeah, I'll fish. Ah, well, still got it.
So what is recorded is first a survey done when the Federation encountered the Molotians originally, which indicated that the planet had a single sentient species, technology equivalent to the Federation or surpassing in all categories except warp technology, which is entirely undeveloped. In fact, there is a note of a special dispensation that the original First Contact team was given because they had to accept evidence of subspace communication in place of warp technology. Because Molotians simply didn't develop in that direction.
Oh, just like the Trill.
And later reports from two other Starfleet vessels who have stopped by in the intervening 26 years. One indicates that when they stopped by, there were now a sizable minority of Ferengi living on the planet. They did not make much note other than that because they did not planetfall.
Mhm.
The next one, they investigated because of reports of warships, and that's when they noted that there was now a Klingon and a Romulan presence as well, neither of which seemed to be government sponsored, and both of which seemed to have the approval of the Molotians to be here, and that those warships had been disarmed by request from the Molotians. And Starfleet definitely would have required that if the Molotians hadn't first.
Okay.
Oh, and then generally what was also in the captain's log, that
Okay.
no indication that they have interest in, that the species native to this planet had any interest in interstellar travel, but they seem to have a habit of inviting people to
Okay.
stick around.
Are they primarily city-based people? Are they agrarian? I mean, the tech level obviously is high, but what?
There is a central city that's connected to the spaceport and serves as kind of a de facto capital, and then there's an old cultural political capital, and then varying cities across the world of different size. But the planet also does have the ability to sustain itself agriculturally as well.
Okay.
It is M class.
Okay. And are they bilaterally symmetrical bipeds?
The biological description of them paints them similar to humans, Vulcans, Andorians.
Okay.
Humanoid.
Yeah, a humanoid.
Well, I mean, if you want to be speciesist about it. Why not Gornoid? They could be Gornoid.
They
No, their
lack
faces are too flat.
almost every feature a Gorn has.
Yes. Yes, apologies. How spacist of me.
I can't expect much from a guy who didn't notice his wife was an augment. Jesus.
Oh man, I'm never
Called
living that down, am I?
Cultural diversity, actually. That's
I am-
that's the good thing, right? That's
Right,
that's being
right.
colorblind. That's good, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying
Oh, this is
that,
a mess.
you didn't notice. You didn't notice that there was any, she's working out with a Gorn and a Denobulin and, the other weirdly strong species.
Look, he
in
just really believes in his wife.
the Anafina gave cover because Denobulins aren't noted as being particularly strong, right?
Nah, that's fair.
Right.
Anafina was there because she was Borg. She's partially Borg, at least.
Well, and already cybernetic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sensors
Alright, is
detecting
there-
a standard traffic for the area. No hazardous materials detected at this time.
Only,
What did the previous surveys say about primary contact place?
we'll look.
I'll take that for a moment.
Boop, boop.
Sure.
There is a place listed as the government party headquarters.
Ain't no party like a government party. Looks like only 2 Starfleet vessels have visited the system since the preliminary survey 26 standard years ago, Captain. The first noted a large minority population of Ferengi that did not make planetfall. The second investigated reports of Klingon and Romulan warships, but upon doing so discovered that neither were here at the behest of their governments, and all warships had been disarmed at the request of the inhabitants, much like we're seeing on our screens currently.
All right, find me someone who I can talk to down there, and we'll see if we can catch up with what the Federation has missed.
Perhaps we could get them to agree to the construction of a subspace relay to improve the communications network and their ability to learn about the outside galaxy.
A good idea.
Hailing
Assuming they're
government,
amenable, we could construct one.
hailing government party headquarter frequency, Captain.
After a few moments,
Oopsie.
you see on screen a man appear.
They're so tiny.
He says, "Is this Starfleet that is receiving?"
Yes, this is Captain Razor Arcos of the Starfleet ship USS Vanguard.
Interesting. I was informed that a unusual Starfleet-like vessel had appeared.
I believe our ship designs may have changed since you were last visited.
Yes, it is. Caused some concern on first arrival, until we realized it was Starfleet-like. It is gargantuan, I might say.
The designers lovingly called it a city in space.
That's unusual.
I'd be happy to give some dignitaries a tour of the vessel if they would like.
I couldn't imagine anyone taking you up on it, but I will let others who might be interested know.
Of course. However, our primary purpose here is to check in, patrol, see if there's anything that the Malotian people need. I could send a team down to the surface if that would be more amenable.
That might be required. I have a full stack of documents and requests here. Now
All
that
right.
you're here, you may come and go through all of them and do whatever it is that you do.
Very well. What's a suitable location for us to beam down? Or would you prefer if we arrived by shuttle?
You may transport to this location. Well, I will send coordinates, not into my office, but in the same building.
Of course. We will be with you momentarily then.
Very well.
Look over at my XO. Strange contact, but
Hmm.
all right.
Well, they weren't kidding about not being at all enamored of leaving their planet's surface. But to each his own.
Indeed. I think I'll lead this away team. Commander, you'll have the ship.
Of course, Captain.
I'm dead again.
Oh no!
Ah.
As a heads up, unless you do something pretty drastic, there is no plan for things to happen in space. That is, unless you do something or you bring people into space. Obviously, if you invite people on the ship, then there'd be something on the ship. But
All right. I mean, I've extended that offer to people, but given their culture, it seems unlikely.
So, can I come?
Oh yeah, I'd like to.
Okay.
We can have the second officer get some valuable command chair
There you
time.
go.
Yes, they get valuable command chair time, and the moment they sit down, the camera pans away from them.
Exactly.
Normally I'd hang about the ship, but I already did my scans in space, and I don't expect you to need me to give you ship support. And Talix can do that perfectly fine. If you need
Given
to
the
be,
apparent unwillingness of the Malotians to enter space, it might be better if we were to plan for any infrastructure beyond the surface as well. If we're able to convince them to have a subspace beacon, a surface-bound one might require your expertise.
Um, I will actually downgrade myself to a Type 1 phaser unless I'm told otherwise, because we're on a diplomatic attention.
My plan as well.
It's like, I'm going to be armed, but I'm not going to be like
Yep, same.
openly armed.
Yeah. We'll take a tricorder though.
Oh yeah, that's
Yep.
just a nice thing to have. That's just convenient.
So is a Type 1 phaser, honestly. Type 1 phaser can be a weapon, but also a tool.
Is that a captain? Is Type 1 phaser standing order then for this
Hey,
mission?
your security. It's not that weird for you to be armed. It's weird for us to be armed.
Oh, I know. I
That's
just
true.
want.
I leave that at your
Captain.
discretion, Lieutenant.
Okay. In that case, I will maintain a Type 2 phaser capability.
Check the locker
All right.
real quick. Is there anything I want to grab before we head down? I don't think so. Honestly.
GM, I know it's technically part of my crisis gear, but would it be a big deal for me to just grab the medical kit?
From that gear, yes. If the crisis teams are not being activated, getting a different medical kit, no.
Okay, yeah. I think just to, since that way we kind of cover some bases.
Yeah, then you'll want to spend for that.
Okay, what is
Otherwise,
it?
Just one.
one.
Okay.
Gee.
I'd also like to spend for a command team if I could, since there's going to be a lot of paperwork.
Perhaps we also might want to bring down someone from medical,
Medical
or
detachment's
just-
not terrible. Yeah.
or just a an NP, one of our supports, so that if
Well, we don't have anyone to play them. That's the problem.
well, but if Zakelith manages to show up before we end,
Yeah, we can always beam someone else down.
That's true.
And honestly, if we're taking somebody medical, I won't buy the kit because I was just getting it because we didn't have anybody
What-
medical.
What's your medical rating? 3 or higher?
It's 3, yeah.
You're as good as any medic we'd bring down, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think we really need a medical. Like if it's like a doctor problem, they're better pulled up to the ship or to one of their hospitals.
Nope,
3 is
totally
pretty good.
reasonable.
3 is pretty
Okay.
good.
Also
I've got
just a good
emergencies.
Also, it's just generally a good idea to bring down a support or two, just in case we as a party get split up.
Oh, that's what transporters are for.
Yeah, there's been no evidence that you would have any difficulty getting new people.
Okay.
I'll bring along my engineering kit. I don't think I have to spend as. Oh wait, I might.
don't
'cause I'm not... No.
I think I said we'd establish which one you. No, because there's no dedicated science equipment, so I was fine with you having the engineering kit.
Yeah.
You just needed to establish, I think, what the normal tricorder you come down with is.
It would normally be an engineering tricorder, just because that's my primary duty. So I'll put on that little satchel, check my Type 1 phaser, tuck it away. Looks around.
All right. Any other equipment?
Is this the part we bring down a gift basket, Captain?
We'll call back up for one if we need it.
Otherwise, all set, Captain.
All right then, energize.
Everyone stand very, very still, and then
Uh-huh.
call cut, and then everyone move, and then we'll film the pad again.
Sorry, if somebody's
And
waiting
then
on
we'll
me, I
shake
was
some
talking to my
sparkles
wife.
in water.
Get
and
get
then-
get the. I was gonna say, yeah, get the sparkles in the water and.
yeah.
I presume new scene, but we pop back up to 2 because we're both here.
Yes. New scene.
God, they have such big hair.
Oh, and it's purple.
Yes, you find, looking around, pretty much all of the 4 Molotians you've encountered so far have wild, untamed purple hair.
Yeah,
Kind of people.
Planet of the Glam Rockers.
I was gonna say, yeah, the makeup like wig people had a field day with this episode.
Yep.
Finally get to use all the purple headdresses.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They had like a surplus of these wigs from some other completely unrelated project, and they're like, I know what I can use these for.
Space 1999,
Oh.
the next generation.
Yeah.
You walk up to the Molotian standing in front of you, and he says, "Welcome. You must be the Starfleet commander."
Yeah, I'm Captain Arcos.
Captain.
And you are?
Normally, we've dealt with a full commander, someone who leads a starship.
The captain will smile at that.
I can help you with that. Linguistically, Starfleet has adopted a captaincy as a rank above the commandership. A captain is a commanding officer rank above the standard commander rank. Commander is the minimum required for starship duties. Linguistically, I understand the
Oh.
confusion.
This bigger ship of yours requires a greater command.
Yes. This is my executive officer, Commander Krasek.
Does he command a second ship?
No, he assists with the command of my ship. My second in command.
As the captain stated, our vessel is very much a city in space, and so the command and administrative duties required are extensive.
Linguistically, that would be executive officer, perhaps a deputy commander or vice commander. Would be another way to put it.
One for a translation specialist to look into, I'm sure. The last time anyone on Melot needed someone to take military command was in the fascist wars. And that has been a very long time ago.
Translator caught that. She mutters under her breath.
Yeah.
While we are trained and capable in self-defense, Starfleet and ourselves as officers of Starfleet do not consider ourselves military personnel.
At least not as our primary duty.
Fascinating, I'm sure. But you'll want to see your paperwork.
Of course.
We were informed by the previous commander that Starfleet would help resolve any issues that arose between us and others. Well, there are others here now, and they have things that they would like or need from the Federation, Starfleet, things of that nature. When we've gotten those requests, we've put them here. So you should find everything here you need to work on.
The proverbial
see.
May I
suggestion.
ask
The
how
proverbial
long
suggestions box.
Uh-huh.
these requests have been accumulating?
I think about 12 years.
Well, I do hope none of them were urgent.
No, we advise others not to provide urgent requests because we don't know when Starfleet will come by.
Speaking of, I wanted to offer our services in installing a subspace communication system that could allow you to contact the wider Federation more easily from the comfort of your own planet.
Why?
Transmitting requests such as these, inviting people to come to Melot,
Additionally,
learning about the wider Federation.
I would also say that it would also grant an easier access to the Memory Alpha database that Federation citizens are allowed to use. So you could look up our libraries as it's updated.
This seems unnecessary.
It sometimes is.
Well, you can submit a proposal. I'll look it over, but this doesn't sound too fruitful for us. Oh, I
course.
failed to introduce myself. My name is Bak Jortel.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, actually, you got it right. I was about to type it out, but you got it right. The spaces and everything. I was like, wow.
Wait a minute.
The thing is
I
I
didn't
didn't
write that.
capitalize the second two names. But other than that, exactly right.
Well,
I guess they could be capitalized. Who knows?
the captain will look over to her command teams and say, all right, everybody get sorting on those requests. Filter necessary proposals by myself or Commander Krasek.
You see one of them walk over and open what is not actually a computerized system. They open a literal filing cabinet with paper files.
I was going to.
Oh my god.
It's a literal suggestions box.
Captain, I'll assist the juniors here with the carbon copy database system. Starfleet Academy does not train
Please do.
officers with non-digital formats all that often.
It's been quite a while since I used one myself.
211, we actually still had paper books for our reports. Long story.
Yes, they one of my predecessors asked a information specialist, and they said the most stable format for many decades, if it might take that long for Starfleet to arrive, would be physical documents.
I might recommend the utilization of data tapes. You can carry a physical format that lasts for a very long time under various conditions, but it takes up less space. And I make a gesture with my hand. It's about that big. So you can get a lot more. You can take up a lot less floor space with those.
I don't understand the particulars, but I think my predecessor's consultant was concerned with solar radiation.
Ah, that is an issue. With your permission, do you have a lexicographic, thesaurical, and dictionary database of some kind? To update our linguistics, you may be noticing that we're saying things that are a little off. Our automatic translators need if you're not connected to the database, we need to manually update them from time to time.
Says yes. This is Del Lothmec. They can help you with any such requests for information or translation issues. It's an actual F in the second name. Other than that, yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say, I'm getting the impression that the naming convention is three-letter word. Seems to be the naming convention.
Captain, Commander, and kind of looks to you with a sort of a blank look, but then tilts her head a little bit at you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're asking there.
You're
Permission
right.
to proceed?
She nods. Any additional directives? She says flatly.
Not at this time, Commander.
Nods, turns.
The captain will head over and start, talking to these junior officers about how to sort through paper files.
Back
All
when
right.
we were young, we actually had to bother with that.
What about Krasik and Fox?
Well, Classic will ask Bach Jortel. We are as interested in learning about you as you are about other species.
They don't seem that interested in other species.
Well, I know they're supposedly like people coming and whatever. Ask here. Could you perhaps direct me to a museum or other cultural institution, or if there's any events going on that might be of interest to someone passing through? I would be most appreciative.
Well, the easiest would be you're already on the avenue of assembled parties. You could visit the other party headquarters.
And what exactly are these parties that you speak of? Are they political formations?
I would say that is definitely a primary responsibility. Everyone needs representation.
You will forgive my ignorance of your system, but perhaps you could tell me more of the structure and the role that these parties play within, and how they are around what they are organized.
Well,
Copy of a
Nope.
planetary constitution of some sort.
very well. He goes into his office and comes back and comes to Fox and hands you a stylized pocket constitution. This is all the basic laws and premises. Although this is a children's example, the language is not exact to the source document.
I understand the principle. My wife uses a similar thing in her classes.
Anyways, you will find, well, the Molotians have chosen me and the Grand Coalition to lead them. The Ferengi have the Alliance of Laborers. The Romulans have formed a Senate, the Senate. I'm not sure if there's more than one. I always get mixed up with the plural, the Romulan plural. And the Klingons seem they have a house, a feudal structure.
Ox looks to the commander. Commander, it sounds like each of the respective races have concocted separate yet alone recreations of their own home political structures.
And these different parties, they have or can have members to some sort of larger representative body?
No, Malot is governed by Molotians, and the other parties simply make requests when they have them. If they're local, we handle them. If they're not local, they go over there.
Fox shoots Krasik like a look of concern.
And these non-local requests, are they all directed towards the Federation or are any directed to their own home governments, for lack of a better phrase?
Both. I think I got one only a few days ago. It was a proposal for a dilithium refinery. But Malot doesn't have any lithium resources, so that must be a foreign request.
Double.
So this planet is a Federation member or not?
That you would have to give me insight command difficulty 2. You might have glanced it when you looked across the computer. But that's where that information would be.
Prepare, insight, command, difficulty 2. Okay, take an extra threat for a third die. A fish. Not having luck with fishing tonight, but still, got it.
No, they only have an associated world status, a status that allows Starfleet the freedom to act within their territory and defend them if need be, but presents no formalized relationship between them and the Federation. No treaties of trade, no treaties of communication. Starfleet wouldn't set up a base here permanently. There's no provision for Molotians to go to the academy or go
Okay.
to core worlds to participate in politics. Nothing like that.
Okay.
A
Brr.
more than ally, less than part of the Federation is the closest thing I could say.
Okay. I am aware of your standing vis-a-vis the Federation. You have similar standings with these the Ferengi, Romulans, and Klingons.
We meet with them regularly. I had lunch with a member of the Senate only yesterday. But otherwise, it's similar, I guess.
Hmm.
No, they make many more requests of us than we do of you.
I imagine so.
Commander, I think it might be a good idea then to take a look at some of these hang on, it's to visit some of these various parties.
Indeed. Dr. Tortel, perhaps you would be willing to provide some sort of introductions, either in person or otherwise, to ease our visits with the representatives?
That sounds quite engaging, actually. I have not had Ga this last week. I will show you.
Excellent.
We will save the Klingons for lunch.
If we must. Captain, and I'll tell Captain, the lieutenant and I, along with Barjok Tel, are going to visit the other parties here, the representatives of the Klingons, Romulans, and Ferengi on planet.
Very well. Let me know what information you come back with.
Aye, Captain.
The captain looks excited to do paperwork.
Well, good, because that's what you're going to get to do.
The captain is strange.
Yes.
So you see 4 filing cabinets. One is labeled requests from Molotians, 1 requests from Romulans, 1 from Klingons, and 1 from Ferengi. The one from Molotians is literally empty.
My God. Okay.
The one from the Romulans has 1 small file drawer that has like 5 files in it. The one from the Ferengi is moderately filled, and the one from the Klingons is also moderately filled.
I'd
Rock with
imagine
the Romulan one, then, I guess.
I'd imagine there'd be a decent amount in the Klingon one because we're allies with the Klingons. So
This time period? No, I don't think so.
Not yet. No.
what?
Too early.
No, that's
Early
something-
TNG still.
Yeah, we're early TNG. That's something that
Oh, okay.
develops later.
Really? Okay.
We have peace
They're
treaties
not
with
at
them.
war. Yeah, they're not at war or anything, but like literal allies that like go to war together. Not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
That's something that I don't know if they actually do that on screen.
If I recall correctly, it kind of naturally occurs after some of the events of Picard's interference, participation in the succession crisis.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say basically that
Nicely
the stuff
phrased.
deal with
Galron.
not Galron. Well, I guess he was involved.
Duras.
I was thinking
Yeah.
they're all involved, but I was looking for the name Kalis.
Yeah, that's 2, excuse you.
Electric Klingon Boogaloo.
Unforgettable Boogaloo.
Alright. So give me let's go with Reason Command difficulty 3, because these are all in a very formal Romulan script. A script that actually barely appears in Federation records because it is really only used in formal political situations. Like the Treaty of Algeron is half. The Romulan version is written in this language, in this script.
Got it.
But like, if you just like sent a request to, I don't know, the Romulan Navy or something, it would not look like this.
It's Romulan cursive. Got it.
Reduction from the command team?
Yes. They can help.
Okay. Would diplomacy work here as a focus?
Yes, these are diplomatic requests.
All right. Let's see. Does the command team count as a trait?
Yes.
Awesome. I will buy 1 die with momentum then.
Da 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 da.
And I'll re-roll one of those. From preparation.
Bam.
There we go.
You find requests that the Federation Council recognize the Romulan Senate as currently in exile on the planet Malot, having been expelled by an illegitimate faction. You see requests for a permanent Starfleet ambassador to the Romulan Star Empire, and a request to provide the Federation Council with such an ambassador. You see requests to provide security for the planet of Malot, or allow the Romulan Senate to provide it. And you see complaints requesting the expulsion of the Klingons from Malot and the Federation in general.
Okay. I believe we either don't have the legal authority to. I believe we don't have the legal authority to do most of that, actually.
It can be passed up to the diplomatic corps, because that sounds like intriguing to us. Yeah.
Kick it up the chain.
Because really, it's not something a captain could pull the trigger on.
Yeah.
Mind you, more information from your XO probably won't hurt, because then we'll
True.
We'll know what their situation
I will. Depending on whether the equipment we have is sufficient for this or not, I'll either scan these documents and send them up to the ship, or request an equipment to do that.
Yes, your tricorders can perform that function.
All right. then we will scan through these Romulan documents, make sure that none of these are locally attainable requests, which they do not seem to be.
There are none that are.
Yep. And just forward them up to the
I
ship
guess
for temporary storage.
the expulsion of the Klingons could technically be partially local, but
Yeah, but
the Molotians don't seem to have considered it a local issue.
yeah, and ultimately, if the Molotians ask us to do that, I believe that is something we're allowed to do. If they don't ask us to do that, I don't think it's something we're allowed to do.
They have to ask us to help.
Yeah.
And it gets wiry if we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of which, we will go to a new scene.
Boop, boop, goodbye.
Yes, diplomacy with a Gorn and a spy.
Perfect way to do diplomacy, clearly.
Mm.
Yep.
No one will ever expect either of those things.
It's true.
And that's what you really want with diplomacy, is to frustrate people's expectations.
Right.
Absolutely.
To maintain a state of affairs just short of war.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
No, they're going to meet us all formally and stuff.
I mean, you showed up.
Yeah.
So, Bakjortel leads you only a 2-minute walk down a sidewalk, and out here interacts with a computer console. The door opens and he walks in, and you seem to walk into a really good impression of a mock Senate. Although none of you've ever seen or probably even seen any accurate depictions of the Romulan Senate.
Just holodramas.
Yeah, all of which you assume to be entirely inaccurate.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Because it's all the propaganda.
You see at least a facsimile of what it must be here. As you enter, he kind of stands there waiting for a second. As a member is speaking on the need to fund the construction of a small privacy wall around the Klingon district.
Tone of silence.
But this must be a low business day. Most of the members don't seem to be here.
HOA.
Although it's hard to, they are Romulans. It's still hard to see any look of disinterest because they kind of always look disinterested.
Yep.
After that member sits down, one of the two people at the front get up and say, I see, Bakjortel, you have brought some members of Starfleet. Is business you have before the Senate of the Romulan people. And Bach Jortel says, merely an introduction. This is Ship Commander he kind of looks for a second and says, Ship Commander Krasik, who wishes to address the Senate.
Ah.
The management kind of looks around, and one of the members stands up and says, I submit a motion to the propraetor that the Ship Commander Krasik be allowed to take the floor. And another member across the aisle says, I approve this request to the propraetor. And then the man at the front says, then I resolve as the arbiter of today's business, Ship Commander Krasik, you may speak before the Senate of the Romulan people.
Okay, I'll advance. Propraetor, honored senators, my thanks for your kind permission to allow me to address this august body. I must, however, make a correction due to certain linguistic misunderstandings. I am not a ship commander. My rank is commander, but I serve as executive officer of the Federation starship Vanguard, currently in orbit over Malot.
The propraetor speaks up. Let the record reflect that the individual named Krasik has indicated he is a sub-commander. And then he puts his hand down.
I greet you in the name of my ship and my captain, and as a representative of Starfleet. We have been tasked to come into this region of space in order to see what services we can be in aid of. My captain and several of her officers are currently reviewing apparently I kind of look over my shoulder at Bach Choi, Bach Jortel, a 12 standard year backlog of requests that might be Federation business, and I'm sure she or the appropriate representatives beyond Malot will be contacting you as necessary. I apologize for the long gap between visits, but if you have any immediate needs that the Vanguard might be able to assist with, I will be happy to report them to my captain, and if possible, we will do our utmost to fulfill these needs. Not that the Senate and people of Romulus are at all reliant on the United Federation of Planets to fulfill their needs. We offer these services merely as a neighborly and diplomatic gesture.
We anticipate your reply on our requests. And since you are here, it has already been resolved in our last few sessions, and we have been prepared to soon submit and will now submit requests to allow the construction of a Romulan naval dockyard and that you solve the Klingon problem.
As to a dockyard, I believe that would fall under the local jurisdiction of Malot, and thereby the party of Bak Jortel. And the Klingon problem, if you could please elucidate.
Have you met a Klingon?
Many.
Then you must understand their offensive nature.
Yet, what is offensive to one is merely customary and expected to another. Cultural differences are to be expected in societies such as this one, where many different cultures, all with rich and long histories, exist together. In, I'm pleased to note, peace.
A member steps forward and the preparator kind of motions, seeming allowing them to speak. He says, Subcommander Krasik, are you indicating that the Federation approves of the disorganized and unsanitary conditions Klingons create?
Again, you seem to be addressing a local issue, which is under the authority of the government of Malot. I suggest you...
go ahead, sorry.
That is indeed if you are merely speaking of the Klingons here on Malot itself. Or do you speak towards a broader condition?
He says, since the Malotians make no claim to have authority over the Klingons, and they are within Federation space, it must be you who has authority over them to enforce health standards, cleanliness standards, culturally appropriate standards.
Are we technically in Federation space where this
Yes.
little solar system just has an independent agreement?
Well, I guess in the nature of space being different than like terrestrial space,
Right.
It's hard to say that the space around this place is Federation because it's space.
Right.
But there are legitimate Federation members further out than them. Meaning, if you made a simple 2D map, it would look like they were inside the Federation.
Right. Respectfully, I would remind the Senator that Malot is not a Federation member world. Our agreements with the Malotian government are in the nature of peaceful and friendly relations. We have pledged to undertake defense of them and their system should they ever request it, which to this point they never have. So while on a map this might look like Federation space, as you say, this is an independent, self-governing world, and the Federation supports Malot's independence and self-governance and self-determination. But your words suggest that there may have been some sort of disease outbreak recently, or am I misunderstanding? we can certainly offer our medical services to all
The
who
member
need.
speaks up and says, none among our population, but the Klingons are infested, I assure you, and then sits back down. Another member stands up and says, in light of the subcommander's testimony, I request a full sitting of the Senate to discuss a request that Malote be recognized as a full member of the Federation. And then there's kind of a clamor back and forth. Eventually, the propraetor speaks up and kind of, shouts order and says, I think it is appropriate that this discussion is now held. You may attend these discussions if you wish Subcommander Krasik to provide any answers to any questions that may be had. But we will set a date of tomorrow to begin discussions and adjourn for the day. And then he smacks his hand on the armrest of the chair, and then the members start filling the floor just in casual conversation with each other.
To coin a phrase, fascinating.
Black Shortell says, I'm unaware. Are they able to request that we join the Federation?
I suppose they could submit a request to your government, and then your government can regard it with whatever seriousness it believes it deserves. Membership or not is up to the government of Malote. But I suppose if they can submit requests to you on such local matters, then unless you have anything that prohibits them from doing so.
It is weird. This is not at all part of our platform. I do not think my supporters desire
Well, I'll
this.
kind of like walk us out as we're having this discussion. And then once we're outside it, I'll say, no, again, it's up to your government how you wish to handle any petitions from the Romulans, the Klingons, the Ferengi, or the man on the street. We would, of course, Federation.
Are they allowed to join the Federation?
The Senate here?
Yes. Perhaps they can simply ask you for permission to join.
I'm afraid that process involves more people and more diplomats and people with more of these, and I point at the pips on my neck, than I currently have. As a body, I don't think so, but I am not a lawyer. I am not a legal scholar. As individuals, they could certainly join in a group or by them, each one by himself could become Federation citizens if they wished. It would not change the status of Malote.
You find yourself having to explain how people on a planet could be in the Federation, but the planet itself could not be in the Federation, as you walk down the street. You go back to the captain.
We get our momentum back.
Yay!
Yay.
You and Anafina start cracking open a new file cabinet. Is it Klingon? or Ferengi?
We'll look at Klingon next, sure.
Due to the sheer volume, this is also Reason Command Difficulty 3. It is easily translatable from Klingon,
Okay.
but there's just a lot of it.
Command team trait?
Yep.
All right. Diplomacy focus.
Yes.
Cool. I will buy 1 die with momentum.
Boop, boop, boop.
I'll reroll that comp.
Boop.
One momentum gained, or 2 momentum gained actually. And I don't know, Anafina, if you want to be assisting on these.
I'm waiting. I'm holding my assist
Well-
unless she falls short.
Okay, because like I was saying, that translation is part of the difficulty here. It's not like a separate task. So
Yeah, if they need help with a quick, like, hey, could you come over here and help us with these translations? Like, oh yeah, sure. I know Klingon.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if you were assisting, because that would be an assist to help here.
Hey, I'll throw
You
it.
can generate momentum off of it, yeah.
That's part of the task is the translation.
Xenolinguistics as a focus, of course.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, another momentum gained.
Oops, I was
Fantastic.
almost grabbed threat out of habit.
So you find requests for member status in the Federation Council for the House of Halnak. Requests for all information related to transporter technology. Requests to approve an invasion of Ferenginar and a separate one, an invasion of Romulus, should negotiations not prove fruitful. Permissions to conquer Malot if negotiations should not prove fruitful. A statement that of intent to invade and conquer the Federation should these requests not be taken in and answered.
Okay.
Requests for a trade for increased trade and a greater station.
Got it.
Any questions?
Is that greater political station or greater station in space?
Oh, space station.
Okay.
Word keeps getting thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
And linguistically, is this like formal, like high council sort of Klingon, or is it more of a rough, like Halnak dialect sort of thing, like a regional dialect? Like, are these politicians or are these warriors who are using standard Klingon to ask for stuff? Because it sounds pretty formal, but I wanted to make sure.
It's in the form of a serious diplomatic request, but I don't think the language is significantly different from any from standard Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's definitely not an obscure dialect. It would not be out of place from house business on Kronos, but it also wouldn't be out of place from house business on most worlds.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're being awful polite about their requests. In Klingon society,
For
anyway.
invasion is a strange concept.
Well, it's dishonorable to sneak attack unless victory is assured.
And I guess their victory would not be assured, yeah.
For Momentum, one of your command staff who may have some diplomatic training will offer some advice.
Yeah, sure.
Says, I've seen this before, Captain. This is actually a specific type of request often submitted to the Klingon High Council. Generally, only those who the council has approved can go conquer new worlds.
And
That
I suppose
way, only the Chancellor's allies get that.
I suppose the House of Holnak has been exiled or chosen to leave Klingon space and is considering the Federation to occupy that same diplomatic status. In a manner of speaking,
It says, "Oh, yeah, look at this." It notes the previous Federation president as Chancellor.
Linguistically, that's close enough. That's the closest word they have. In Klingon, president might be like a trade president or something of that sort. So Chancellor makes more sense for the authority given to the president of the Federation.
And as far as the Klingons are concerned, they do elect their chancellors. Somewhat bloody elections, as I understand, but...
Certainly.
All right. Go ahead, Commander.
I was just saying, certainly will make for the commander's visit to the House Holnak's estate be a bit interesting for them.
Agreed. Let's get digitizing this documentation and send it up to the Vanguard as well.
All right, scene.
Boop.
Oh, it's lunchtime.
Time to eat some Klingons.
I will have asked on the way over Jortel if, like, the Klingons have set up, Arg husbandry and Gach farms, or if they're relying on replicated versions.
I can't imagine they would.
He says, we allow a small area of agricultural development for anyone who requests it. Not enough to compromise the food integrity of the planet, but enough to allow for delicacies.
Excellent. I only ask because real fresh protein is something of a luxury in Starfleet, and at least for us Shisiki.
Oh, what do you eat?
We prefer fresh animal protein. However, in Starfleet and the Federation, many species have moved away from fresh protein to replicated and synthesized versions of the same. They all, I'm talking Klingon now, they all claim that there is no difference in taste, but I believe that is only because people saying that have never actually had the real thing. If these Klingons are serving true protein, I am looking forward to lunch even more than you are.
He opens the door, and you enter as Klingons bow, and then as a group kind of raise up and seem to be singing towards a central icon or statue.
Stand quietly and watch this ceremony. Is the central statue representative of anything that I can tell? I mean,
It does have kind of a swirling pattern, but nothing nothing that brings anything to mind.
okay. So it's not like a statue of a hero or of Kahless or something.
No, it's swirling around a central point.
Mm.
After a while, things seems to be over. People start moving about. And a Klingon approaches and says, Starfleet, you've decided to grace us with your presence, I see.
I'm Commander Krasik of the Starship Vanguard. This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Fox. We are in system on a patrol mission. But yes, it has been quite some time since a Starfleet vessel was in this area.
Well, I am Kolvak, Joe Hulnak. As he extends his arm.
I'll do the forearm grippy thing.
He grabs your arm and kind of yells out, a being of culture. You've brought Bach Tortel with you. Ah, it is midweek. It's Ga for lunch. As Bach Tortel kind of laughs, and and Kolvak roars in laughter as well.
I'll hiss and say, I too am much looking forward to your Gach. It has been some time since I've had true protein.
Well, while the preparation is completed, we can talk, I assume. You have some ability, some power.
I am the executive officer of the Vanguard. My captain is at the government headquarters building, reviewing various requests from the people of Melote, including your house, Joe. That has been apparently piling up for quite some time.
Well,
But
you will find many requests from us that I have to say are unconscionable, but they must be done.
I'm sure my captain will give them her utmost attention. But as we are in system, our mission here is to provide assistance of whatever kind we are able to those on Melote. So if you have any requests that perhaps we could help more directly on while we are here, I would be happy to hear them. Within the limits of our duties and obligations, of course.
Well, the first thing you could do is break up this unacceptable Ferengi
Yeah.
cartel. No work can be done on this planet. Anytime one attempts to do business with a Ferengi, which on a planet that lacks other forms of laborers is unfortunately a necessity, they conspire with each other. They cavort in an unacceptable fashion. I would subjugate them, but it's not our world.
Indeed.
And of course, that would be unacceptable. One would have to transport.
Is there a reason that only Ferengi are available as workers? I know they constitute a sizable minority population of the planet, but certainly not the majority.
The Melotians have their own planet. It would be unacceptable for such a people to be subjugated, lest the planet itself be subjugated, and that is not in our desire.
So
The Romulans are best just destroyed. The Ferengi, they could be used as laborers if their cavorting would stop.
Cavorting?
are you speaking
Collaboration.
of involuntary labor?
No. We wish for them to voluntarily give their labor, but they are forced involuntarily by each other to engage in agreements.
Ah, so you object to their reliance on contracts and negotiations for wages and remuneration.
Not in an individual capacity. It is this group machination, this puppeting of the worker by other forces that is just disastrous for society.
God, it's like a corrupt union.
Right. Well,
God.
as you have noticed, as you have noted, Joe, Malot is an independent, self-governing world, and any such efforts to, I believe it is trust busting, would have to flow from the government of Malot, not from the Federation or any other outside entity.
That is why we have requested membership, so a Starfleet vessel could come here and disperse them.
Well, while you and your people could certainly become Federation citizens, that would not, in turn, make Malot a Federation member world. That would have to come from the Malotians. And if you wish them to
We've
make
submitted
such
that.
a...
We
I
have
see.
submitted such a request on their behalf, as they are uninterested.
Well, surely, Joe, you could see the Federation's position that any such request must come from the native inhabitants and to use the native inhabitants and government of a given planetary system.
You know, while Krasik is talking with this guy, Fox wants to get a sort of a vibe check on him and his presumably his second in command here. Whenever they talk about the Malotians, what's like the vibe?
Here he goes hitting on the Klingon
Insight
woman
command,
again.
difficulty 2.
Command difficulty 2. Interrogation focus?
No.
Okay, that's reasonable. What do we got for momentum, if any?
2.
2? I'll spend a momentum. I generate the momentum back.
The kind of respect you've seen between, or at least you've heard spoken about between Klingon captains and Federation captains, they fought in battle to a standstill. Like a begrudging respect.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, you've received our requests. Before it would be unsuitable for me before the meal not to ask if you find any need to transport.
Transport?
To yes.
To transport what exactly?
To dematerialize, to dissociate from one's crimes, to rematerialize new and whole.
Well, yes, I understand transporters, but are you asking me to beam something down?
No, I ask if there are any troubles on your soul, any crimes, any violence you have brought in the world.
I kind of give Fox a lizard side eye. I am afraid that I do not quite understand. Are you asking for some sort of religious confession?
Oh no, there's no need to tell me. You simply know what wrongs you may have done, what violence you may have brought into the world, and you transport. You free yourself of it. Only the real you is rematerialized.
Ah. I thank you for your sincere concern, but I believe that currently I am my authentic self, and certainly am not currently, at least, carrying any weights of sins. I hope that such will remain to be the case.
Don't we all? And you... Is it ensign?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant, Any violence, any poorly lived decisions to take off of your shoulders?
Well, I did marry an augment.
Jesus Christ. Lieutenant just stands stock still and says, "No, sir."
Very well. Let us eat. And they guide you elsewhere.
Nom 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 nom.
He's not telling that to his therapist. You think he's going to tell you? Jeez.
You really should tell your therapist, though.
He didn't ask you to confess. He
That's
just said,
for
if,
the transporter to know, and for no one else.
yes, if there was something inside of you that was wrong, let the transporter fix it.
It's
Uh-huh.
like baptism by transporter.
I'm pretty sure that violence against Cardassians doesn't count.
Moving on.
I wonder why he never made captain. I can't imagine why.
Captain Arcos, you have only one set of files left, the Ferengi files.
Not to be confused with the Penske files. Only one person here is old enough to
All
get
right.
that. Anyway,
No, I know. I was searching for a joke about how it's missing. How you've never got it done.
All right, so Ferengi files. Let's see what they are up to.
market manipulation, monopoly, formation of cartels, frustration of market forces.
Insight Command difficulty 4, because there is a large amount, and there's a lot that is seeming to be mistranslated. As
Okay.
in, at first, it just looks like a list of crimes that have been committed.
Hilarious.
Great.
Like literally, the top of the document says, "We the criminals request."
The criminals request.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Command team.
Yep.
Diplomacy focus still work here?
Yes.
All right.
And this would also be a good place to assist on a translation. In fact, you could lead on the translation on this one as well.
I'd be staring at 14 with the focus. I don't know if it's
I've
any
got
better than
15 with the focus.
You're a better roll than I am. I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Okay. I'll buy a third die
With
with a point of momentum.
what?
I've been completely forgetting to call out patient for the last couple of rolls, but it's been 1 bonus momentum, so.
It looking one
Rerolling.
short.
Oh, yeah, reroll. Hey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reroll because there's an applicable trait on the roll.
So you just hit the difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So it turns out that the Alliance of Labor, or the Honorable Society of Ferengi Workers, they ask for a permanent contract with the Federation for purposes of trade and labor. A request to provide military defense against encroaching Klingon settlement. A request to mediate labor disputes with the Senate of Romulus. And
Like we
a
actually could do.
request that the planet of Melot receive its just representation in the Federation's Council of Labor.
Okay.
Funny enough, that last one could be translated into being membership within the Federation. However, there is bureaus of labor and industrialization, which could have a lesser association and membership. So if they just wanted a trade treaty of some kind for us to participate in, that may be a sort of stepping stone into the Federation bureaucratic system rather than full council membership. Basically elevating their associate status into other aspects of the government.
Great. Alliance of Labor.
Yeah. Like at first, the translator translated it as the cartel of criminals.
Is this a Ferengi union?
Or syndicate, even.
Yeah.
In the British sense, if you
Yes.
Like a trade syndicate, yeah.
Yes. In fact, you would call this something closer to the English TUC or the IWW, right? It's a union of unions.
That's amazing. Love that.
can see why they're not appealing to the Ferengi authorities back home.
Yeah.
See why they're not on Ferenginar.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
See why
Yeah.
they're in this motley group of exiles.
Yep.
Yep. I was gonna say, like, hey, just wait for Nog to become Grand Nagus, and
Yeah.
or not Nog, Rom.
Rom, the Grand Nagus. Yep.
Then these guys will
Okay.
be.
He's got
Welcome
leaders
back,
to
Uncle
keep things where they should be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so arbitration. When is the arbitration request dated? Or labor arbitration?
Oh, they've submitted this like 10 times over the past 12 years. The last one's like 6 months ago.
Cool. So that one's actually doable by us. We can serve as a neutral mediator.
Yep.
We can I think conceivably we could figure out additional labor contracts for them under UFP law. It's just that it would be weird in relation to Molotian law potentially.
Well, they could be
Um,
contracted within as a separate trade association that's
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
licensing under the Federation Bureau and Industrialization System, so they can kind of
Mhm.
operate, even if they're not members, they can still be operating as civil merchants and the like.
Yeah. And their request for defense against Klingon settlements, depending on the enforcement of Molotian law, might actually be feasible. We'll see. It depends what the specific request is.
Yeah, and depends what
Okay.
Molotian law says about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I spend 4 for a reveal as one of the instances. Hold on a second. He grabs a couple of these requests, one from the Romulan, one from the Ferengi. We might want to check these population numbers, but Captain, if these documents are right, you have a majority of the planet's population requesting uh, Federation membership.
well, that complicates things.
I would recommend that we review current guidelines on Federation law regarding membership status, and as well speaking with the current elected member, because now we're at a weird point, I think, where and correct me if I'm
Agreed.
wrong, Captain, there is a certain checkboxes that need to be met that for us to give your recommendation of membership, since this application would fall to you for now, until whether or not we need
It
to
would
even bother
fall-
bringing a diplomat or not.
Well, if we're able to determine that the request is legitimate from all three parties, and they do constitute a majority population, the issue becomes the lack of a unified world government that is equally representing all citizens based off of what the Molotians have told us about their system of government.
Which may require us to do a review of their government system to see if perhaps through mediation they may be able to act within the operating parameters of their law.
I'm going to give momentum because the captain identified maybe the least complicated solution, which is, you identified something that is very true and could be useful to you, that that a unified world government is a barrier and may be a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only question is whether the Molotians are remotely interested in such, because currently they are a associate, and so while we can inform them that Federation membership requires unified government, we cannot necessarily directly advocate for unified government, as that would constitute direct interference with their internal affairs.
Unless we are advising them on their own laws. If
Correct.
If their laws already account for this sort of event, then we may be able to merely point out what already exists, because we're allowed to enforce or assist in enforcing existing law on a planet.
So we need to brush up and become the best experts we can on Molotian jurisprudence.
I'll get working on translating.
See if you can gain access to their central database, if they have one. It seems like it's been some time since our computer systems were interoperating.
Dolof Mech, I'm gonna need your assistance. And she walks away from the files. It's like, okay, our job just got a lot harder all of a sudden.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this academic research of your lexicographic dictionaries and stuff like that. Fun. Oh wait, it's actually mission critical. Okay, hold on.
Bak Jortel leads you into another headquarters. One that seems much more relaxed. You see some Ferengi eating lunch. You see a couple watching a holo TV show. Some quietly working in the background. A couple taking naps. Oh yes, and all the Ferengi are clothed. And in fact, this is the first time either Fox or Krasik have probably seen a Ferengi female. And in fact, I'm not sure if either of you would recognize that as anything other than just a Ferengi with small lobes. Like that might just be a smaller dude.
Yeah.
One of the Ferengi walks up and says, "Ah, Bak Jortel, have you come to request a service?" He says, No. This is Commander Krasik.
Major Kraken.
He's the Federation representative. And the Ferengi quickly comes over. Can't put their arm over your shoulder because you're tier 2 also, just kind of grabs you by your arm and says, "Oh, we have many things to talk about. Does your ship need any crewmen?"
No, we are to capacity, and I believe, as has become his wont, Jacques Portel has overstated my position. I am Commander Krasik, Executive Officer of the Federation starship Vanguard, currently in orbit. This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Fox.
Oh, that's even better. A Federation representative, could help with some of our requests. But you, a ship's first officer, you make employment decisions. And I know your ship is currently staffed, but we're offering a reduced contract fee right now, and we have warp core specialists.
Well, you see, our market is highly competitive. Our vessel has also an additional complement of 1,000 highly trained civilians from across all scientific and engineering fields. There is much competition if you were to enter that particular market, I think is your term.
I think you'll find we are offering a competitive rate.
But in any event, I'm afraid we are not seeking personnel currently. And as you may know, as a post-scarcity society, we provide all that is needed without having to deal with these strange intricacies of finance.
Yes, in many ways, the galaxy has moved to substandard labor practices. But I know you are a man being a vision.
I believe my captain is currently reviewing your requests, and that indeed the requests that have accumulated over the past many years, and will, of course, be contacting you should she be able to assist with anything. And speaking of assistance, that is our mission here currently, to offer any aid or assistance within the limits of our duties and agreements with Melot that you might be needing. Instead of you asking me what I might need, it is rather my position to ask you if there is anything that you might need that I could reasonably supply. Or my ship, rather.
Actually, you look rather stout. I was afraid Bakshortel might have to do this, but you look like you could fight a Klingon. It pulls out a data chip and goes, "You may present this formal boycott of Klingon economic activity. I do not wish to be assaulted, and so request that you do it."
I kind of scroll oddly through it. Yes, the Klingons mentioned being involved in some sort of labor dispute. I'm afraid I was not quite clear on what exactly the situation was, or is, rather.
No need. You can simply present them with this and not get stabbed.
Does that
and
tend to be a problem?
Here is some gold press latinum for your efforts.
Please, no need. I will take this matter up with my captain.
The Ferengi kind of looks around and goes, here's some gold press latinum for your work.
Is he looking around like, oh my God, I've got to get this guy to take money or this whole thing falls apart kind of thing? Or
yes.
Is he needing to do this to kind of reinforce their deal?
He's putting some emphasis on getting paid for your work.
Ah. While your offer is appreciated, for me it would come in the form of a gratuity, since this falls within my normal duties of labor and remuneration, and I am afraid that I do not take gratuities. It is a custom with me. No offense intended, but you may rest assured that I am well compensated for this work.
Oh, understood. And then it slyly tries to hand the gold press platinum to Fox.
I mean, you don't take tips, but he might take tips.
Right, yeah.
Oh, God, I'm okay. I didn't break anything.
Fox, take the money.
Oh.
Take the money.
Take it. Fox looks at Krasik.
Krasik just kind of like very subtly shrugs as if to say, I got myself out of that. What you do is you.
Yep. I'm afraid it would be quite improper.
Well, you brought them here, Bakshortel, and she hands the gold press platinum to him, and he puts it in his pocket.
Easy enough. Is there anything else we might be of assistance with?
I think we have submitted all of our requests. There's nothing outside of those requests other than what I've mentioned.
Very well. As I said, my captain and Members of her staff are currently reviewing all requests, and I imagine she will be contacting you about such requests within the next few days, and certainly before we leave orbit. I will, and I hold up the pad, I will definitely bring this to her attention and deliver it if necessary. Yeah, I guess as we leave, I'll look at. God, why can't I not remember his name? Scroll at Bach Jortel. You seem to have 3 very vocal and involved factions on your hands there. You are fortunate that they have not decided to ally with each other. You might find yourselves in a very difficult position.
That seems unlikely.
Indeed, they all appear to be very much wrapped up in their own affairs. And what of you, Bach Jortel? Is there anything my ship and crew or I can do for you and your people? And who are you mad at? Who do you want to build a wall around? Or develop a strike against?
Bach Jortel says, "We have no
Straight
such
out
plans.
with it, then.
Though, actually, the Ferengis do not have the facilities and cannot do business with their home planet. But if you could provide manufacture for, say, 1,000 Domjot tables,
I mean,
Amjat?
It's a game.
Hmm.
it is very popular.
Yeah, I've played a round or 2 of it myself. I'm not especially good at it, but
I don't think that is anything the replicators couldn't handle. Uh, pending, of course, the captain's approval, I think we can handle that. Will your faction be taking delivery or the Ferengi? In fact, I will let your faction take delivery, and then you may deal with whatever contracts on the Ferengi end of things.
I will have to consider the cost of hiring the appropriate staff. We'll worry about that on another day.
Mm.
So, is Arcos doing her research in the party headquarters of the Molotians or on the ship? Basically, where's everybody reconvened?
On the planet, I think.
Yeah.
Might as well do it in the party headquarters, I guess. Although, she's trying to get a broad survey of Melosian law and history enough to not just be whatever this particular current ruling party happens to be.
oh, did you
Assuming
want the,
that's what the system looks like.
Did you want the head seat there, Captain, or
Yeah, sure.
just protocol?
Actually, you can. I'll just go ahead and pull your tokens on if you need to, so you can move them.
Commander, how was your survey of the various other parties?
It's an interesting planet.
Speaking bluntly,
You may speak freely, Lieutenant.
every single organization here has a reason to want at least one of the others out. Most of them have one other faction that they can tolerate, but we've gotten indications that the Romulans hate the Klingons hate the Ferengi, and so on and so on.
Yes, the Romulans hate the Klingons cordially hate them back, but they are far more upset with the Ferengi's apparent negotiations for labor contracts instead of being cheap or indentured labor. The Ferengi are angry at the Klingons and don't want to work for them at all. The Romulans, meanwhile, are very seriously comporting themselves as a government in exile. The Klingons appear to be members of some sort of, for lack of more knowledge, I treaded carefully here, Captain, some sort of religious cults around the transporter technology. Apparently, one cleanses oneself through the act of transporting. The Ferengi are trade unionists.
I noted that, yes.
And practice, I don't know if we noticed the females or whatever, but certainly tend to negotiate as a group.
Seems to be quite different from the Ferengi norm.
Most of them had petitions for us to do something that was mostly local based, and I referred them, of course, to Bok Jortel. But as I told Bok Jortel, he's fortunate these three are too busy with their own navel gazing and agendas to ally with one another, because I think the Maloshan government would be in some real trouble if the three of them got together.
It certainly would. And,
Right.
well,
I got the
these are the requests the Maloshians have forwarded to us, and here we come around finding these and pass the disc back on to them.
I got the impression from talking with I got the impression while you were talking with the Klingons, Commander, that they see the Malotians as someone on par with them in terms of tactical capability. But it's quite likely that at one point they fought each other to something of a standstill. And that means that there's a delicate power balance at play.
I did not get any sense of previous warfare between the two, but then again, I'm not a tactical officer. In any event, Captain, we only received two, what I would think of as actionable requests. One is to deliver this, what did they call it? Is to deliver this breaking of all current and future labor contracts with the Klingons. On behalf of the Ferengi, asked us to present it for fear of violence being perpetrated upon them. And the Maloshians themselves have requested us to fabricate 1,000 Domjot tables.
Very well, both of those are reasonable requests.
Oh, the gambling table. And then it very slowly over-translates the word and looks confused, like, what? It doesn't make any... Oh, wait, no, there's another use of that word. Sort of look on her face.
Yeah, it's an old Nausicaan game, I think.
We've uncovered something, however, in our survey of the requests, which indicates that, put together, these three minority populations may form a majority of the populace on the planet. And all three factions are currently requesting some amount of Federation membership. This represents a slight issue, as the people of Malat, the Molotians themselves, have not expressed such desire, and their government, as we can see, is not a unified representational system.
Which is a prerequisite for Federation membership.
That or something deemed to be of equivalent nature.
GM, since our gathering, would I have had time to review or get a copy to review as we're talking their government system?
Yeah, you can do that. Go ahead and give me insight command difficulty 2, and the momentum of which can obviously be used for obtain information.
Could I, through like my pad, call up to the ship and access the computer to help me like parse this a lot faster and help me annotate it and stuff so I can present it better at the meeting?
I don't know that I want to allow direct connection to the ship over any real distance. It's normally a thing that's seen as like a direct plug-in or someone being very like inside the ship, but I would accept having sent it up and someone ran like a report or something.
Sure, yeah.
Or even the ship doing it, but not in the sense that like you were like connected to the ship mentally.
Oh no, I was talking about like my pad and stuff, not my connection. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Traditional means.
Yeah.
Just to get ship assistance, basically. And actually,
Yes.
if I can grab some of the command detail to have helped me with that to some degree.
Yeah, go for it.
Just to pull the diff a little bit down further. Is that good by you, GM?
Yep.
Cool. Wanted to make sure. I'll grab a momentum just so I don't biff it too hard. Or unlikely to biff it too hard. There we go. And the ship's computers command, I assume?
Yes.
I don't think anything really falls to this. Yep, not really. Bam. That's okay. There's a comp, though. From the ship. Which I can't do
It's
anything
an
about.
actual...
half threat.
All right.
I generated momentum, though, so that's good.
Nice.
So, from what you can tell, the Molotians do have a representative democracy. At least on paper. In practice, they never seem to have had any other party in power. But that seems to come down to the fact that the party seems to have enjoyed a high 80s, low 90s% approval, like vote return, and the threshold for forming a new party is 10% of the electorate. So you don't get really small parties. You kind of only get big parties, and there's one party that everybody seems to be satisfied with. There's nothing
Okay.
legally here that shows that they repress other parties. There's no secret police. There's no, you know,
What are the
vote
policies that they
practices.
stay in power with?
There's a broad range of policies, but they seem to have originally come to power on a agriculturally focused platform, and then kind of morphed into a much larger party. Like they started very much focused on making sure the planet could support a population in the billions, and then it just kind of morphed into a larger party that culturally maps most of their major values. I mean, they're not spending money on a exploratory fleet. They're not militarizing. They're not, covering the whole surface of the planet in industrial plants.
Mhm.
There's nothing too objectionable you can see for the majority of the population's cultural values to break support.
Okay.
Is there a system by which new parties can apply for membership in the larger government system? That is to say, if they were not represented before in the system, and to expand my idea, since there's so many of these other alien representatives, it's like, well, is it merely just the fact that these parties have not engaged with their government systems? Like, if you guys just went to vote or applied to be a formal party, they could actually have a vote share in the larger government system. They could become large parties in their own right. It's like a legal framework for them to get there.
Molotians, yes. The other alien populations, no, because they're already considered to be like independent foreign peoples. Like it's almost as if the Molotians consider the Klingons that live here to be the Klingon people who have their own government. So they don't need representation in the Molotian government.
But could they apply for such?
There's nothing explicitly saying no.
So it's the Airbud rule. Got it.
There's nothing saying a Klingon can't vote.
Yes, it's just
That's
that
really stupid.
there's not been any conserved. It doesn't look like there's ever been a concerted effort to do that.
Why write a law about a thing that's never come up before? Because why would we ever think to worry about it? It's never come up, so why bother?
If I'm understanding correctly, under Molotian law, technically, each of the three resident alien governments, to use their own term, could technically request member status. And the Molotians themselves not. Under their law, they're three separate entities. Yeah. I would note that at this point, however, the only recognized government by the Federation is that of the Molotians, both de facto and de jure.
I'm actually noticing, Commander, a parallel in Federation history here.
Mm-hmm.
This story
You speak on that.
This story sounds very similar to the early days of Federation, where Vulcans and Tellarites and Andorians were once galactic rivals, and humans interjected themselves into the fray as a complicating factor, which, with disparate intentions and wants, a unified goal, a federation of government and unified ideals, this planet, I think, could come to a similar, if different, but similar unified system. Which may, I admit, constitute an overstep of the Prime Directive.
That's what I was gonna ask. This is a bit of an issue we've got here, where in order for this to happen, they have to take that step. If we step in and try to tip the scales of their elected government in any way, that's a violation of the Prime Directive.
But, Lieutenant...
In many ways. Not
But-
necessarily in all ways, Lieutenant.
But, Captain, Lieutenant, I believe they already have. They just didn't mean to. We have...
Explain that.
The Molotians, we made our predecessors long ago. Well, not that long ago for me, but long ago for most of you.
Speak for yourself, Commander. I believe only the Lieutenant here falls into that category.
I gesture to the rest of the assistants there. Like, me and you're the only old people here, as it were. Sort of look.
It's all the commanding officers, funnily enough.
Yeah, we're all from long-lived species.
But our predecessors looked to the Molotians and offered to them, if you need any assistance, reach out and let us know. We'll come back and say, we'll try to help you out. These groups looked to Molotians and said, we need help. The Molotians said, this doesn't sound local, and then put the proposals to us. The Molotians, by their own system, have requested us to intervene. Thereby, the Prime Directive is not in force. For the
That's
ruling party
interesting
has
to read.
the ruling party has requested our assistance and our input. They can
Based
ignore us.
upon
We can't force us, but we can't force the issue. But we can certainly advise them.
See,
I like your read of the situation, Commander. I'll want a full write-up of this. You've just volunteered yourself for extra duty. Congratulations.
I do not mind the chance to improve my merits, since my demerit system has been climbing for some reason. Gives a pointed look at the XO. Like, she's partially wondering why her
Jeez.
reputation's suffering, and she's somewhat wondering if the XO's doing it, but it's not. It's just Starfleet Command being a jerk to her.
Yeah.
The same people who are having you investigated for the nanites.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see if we can get a historical overview of how exactly each of these factions came to Malot. I believe that'll give us the correct framework with which to further interpret the situation.
I would guess
You
that
wrote by
they are all
they're hard
exiles.
for me. I don't know if
no, I heard that fine.
Yeah.
Do you repeat that? Or
What were you saying, GM?
Like Winchester, but
Win-
there he is.
no, I can you understand me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can hear you, but I got a bad ping, and y'all did robot a bunch. So, but it's
Okay.
gone.
I think that
back
was you.
green now.
Yeah.
did
So-
you catch it? Do we need to roll back or?
It's just when you were speaking, I only got about half of what you were trying to say.
Okay.
It was something about a historical something.
Yeah, historical overview of how each of these alien factions came to Malote so that we can get a better concept of exactly how the Malotians are asking for assistance. Just a little bit more historical context, basically.
Sure.
Okay.
Reason command difficulty 2.
All right. Command team.
Realizing there's a lot of reason command in this episode.
Hey,
It makes
you know,
sense.
I don't mind. Reason's
Y'all
not
are
my
thinking
best
about
stat,
the
but
law
command is.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not.
Command team and diplomacy focuses.
Yes to the first, no to the second. It's more of a history
Observation.
thing. No, I would be looking for a history or something to do with something.
Xenoanthropology, maybe?
Ooh,
I'll take that,
yeah.
Cool. I'll spend one of my uses of join to give me xenoanthropology for the remainder of this adventure.
Bam.
All right.
2 momentum
Hey.
gained.
Good stuff.
So, from what you can tell, the Ferengi represent a noticeable fraction of the former population of Frankenar. There's like 10% of the former population of Frankenar that was, from what you can tell, ousted in a non-violent civil war. Like, in Ferengi terms,
Civil
there were
disagreement, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there were mercenaries and Frankie like warships involved, but it didn't turn into a shooting conflict because one side knew how much they were facing annihilation, so they jumped ship.
That's
The Klingons were run out of Klingon space in a violent series of clashes because they were trying to dissuade people of the imperial truth,
I
and
see. Okay.
had formed a cult, an unsanctioned cult.
You've not seen religious persecution until you've seen Klingons do it.
And the Romulans, you only have their word. You don't have anything like the other two. You can find historical references that the Federation knows about from multiple sources. Like we don't just know it because the Frankie on Frankenar and the Frankie here talked about it. We know because there happened to be, a Breen news agency or something, or there was a Cardassian military officer who wrote about it who happened to be on Frankenar when this happened. But for the Romulan one, you literally only have their account.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though.
It's that they were purged or attempted to be purged by the Tal Shiar, and were all members of the Senate, and that they hold that the Romulan Navy, in conjunction with the Tal Shiar, have usurped the state.
Ooh, that's a rough way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not wrong, but
can I
There's also, I will say, There is one bit of information that doesn't come from them directly that is inferred, and that's that at the time of the Treaty of Algeron, there were 700 Romulan senators.
Mhm.
And there are only 35 people here claiming to be senators.
Interesting.
Wait,
Okay.
sorry, run that by me one more time?
There are, at the time of the Treaty of Algeron, there were 700 Romulan senators. The people here claim to be that there are 35 Romulan senators sitting here in this official Romulan Senate.
Okay.
Fox,
Got
do you
it.
think you could pull up any intelligence reports that might give us more information about the Romulans here?
I think I can oblige, and Fox will go about getting some intelligence reports, which is to say I will use my intelligence agent role.
Which does what again?
Once per adventure, I can create a trait without requiring a task or spending momentum, threat, or determination. Trait must reflect information, physical resources, or access to a location provided by my contact or by my agency. And I feel like the goings on of the Romulan Senate is something that intelligence would try to keep as close a tap on as possible. Even if it's just rumors.
So your last your trait will be defector information. And that'll represent that the last Romulan defector Starfleet has interviewed about a year ago in a routine question that they asked, and no one in the interview seemed to place much importance on. They were just asking basic questions, and that person indicated that the Senate had 700 senators.
Okay, so the number of senators in the Senate as of about a year ago was 700, in accordance with the number of senators at the Treaty of Algeron, meaning that the number of senators in the Romulan political system hasn't changed. Thus, these senators can't be official senators.
Consider that they were exiled or fled for their lives. If they left their positions, much like a Federation council member, if they simply quit their post and fled to a foreign star power, their seats would have to be replaced by comparable representatives.
Yeah, that stands to reason.
I would wager these 35 do not recognize their replacements as legitimate replacements.
No, I doubt that highly.
Assuming they actually are replacements rather than just a jumped up family of ambitious, but... Sorry, Commander.
I would speculate that they are on the losing end of some factional scheme or schism.
Given everything we've seen here, I get the distinct impression that that seems to be a unifying. Oddly enough, that seems to be a unifying factor among all these groups.
Agreed.
Outcasts among their own people.
And how did they all
Ferengi,
end up here is the question.
Think about it.
that is the question.
The system of Malo seems to recognizes one's independence and operation within the planet. Many planetary systems tend to require sublimation to the existing government system. Or if one is to colonize and reside, one needs to do so not in the core world or on a home world. This world doesn't seem to have that restriction. It lets... I imagine if we asked them really nicely, we could, even though it's against Federation policy, but a Federation branch office could open here and operate as an independent facility, separate but a part of the Malo planetary economic system. Much like how planets and star systems act in concert with each other, these Malosians seem to have it similar but on a planet. A microcosm of interstellar in a government interaction.
Right. Fox turns to Anafina. That makes sense. The Klingons were operating as a house. The Romulans were operating as a senate. The Ferengi were operating as an economic system.
So, what I might propose to them, and I'll have to do the research in government systems in our database, but they may be able to find a unified, equal, but representative democratic system that maintains each of their independent sovereign qualities, but act as a unified planetary vote to request membership into the Federation, which could be to their collective benefit.
A legislative body, an executive, a financial.
Or even just a planetary federation.
A unified republic.
Yeah.
Rather than a representative democracy.
Yeah. Exactly, Captain.
We'd have to check and see about precedent for this in planetary admittance, but there is some leniency for interpretation regarding the equal representation clauses for unification pertaining to local custom, as long as that local custom is deemed to not be exclusionary or repressive.
I'll begin drawing up a recommendation for your draft for your perusal before we present it to the Lotions.
All right. Let's work under the understanding for now that the Malosians have been operating here as though they have much the same jurisdiction over these other peoples as we would various member worlds. I think that might make it an easier translation process for them.
I will present your... I'll pull that into my draft, Captain. I do have some translation notes I'll add in as well that may be an alternative.
Of course.
We can pick and choose
as you
which draft. We'll pick and choose which draft makes best sense for your orders. Because I can do both. It's no trouble for me to do that.
I presume you'll want to return to the ship for this?
I believe I'll take a couple more copies from their database and then I'll head up to the ship and I'll get a draft down for you, Captain.
All right.
Perhaps your next step should be a meeting with the leaders of all four parties.
I think I'll want to have preliminary meetings with each first, but yes, the most important fact will be a meeting of all parties where we can discuss this.
An alternative I might suggest, in case my recommendation is shot down by, well, all of them, or any of them really, because it doesn't really work if they don't want to do it. But membership as... if they want Federation benefits, there are systems for association and licensing that each member group could do, maybe not governmentally, but at least, or planetarily, but they might be able to do it as a collective of persons who want to participate in Federation systems. Much like an independent citizen coming to us for citizenship, but they're not of any particular planet.
Include that in the dossier as well.
I can't.
I believe the largest issue will be getting the Molotians to see the merits of such a system. They seem very content to operate their planet and their systems as they have for, well, centuries, I presume, based off of these histories.
It would be much the same as was done for the Vulcans and the Andorians, and even the Tellarites for that matter. All the three of them were much used to their existing paradigm until the presentation of the federational system would shift the paradigm away from conflict. I mean, the big difference between my example and this example is that pre-federational was a call against the scourge of war, whereas this is more a scourge, if anything, of disunity and disorganization and underrepresentation of values. Far more civil problem, but a problem all the same that they may have to account for.
And even if this is an accepted proposition, it's likely that we'll need to have a observational detachment or a permanent mediator assigned to this planet if they do accept this proposition.
Likely, someone in a diplomatic corps will be on long term, while at some point. So that would make sense, per my understanding of memberships.
I'll beam up to the ship with you then, Commander. I think I have a call to make before I get these talks started. So the captain is planning to update that this patrol has started to include some more complicated matters, and send
you can
that
send the update,
communication.
but you'd be waiting a week on a response.
Yeah. She's not expecting a response necessarily right now. Just like, hey, this is not the situation that our mission parameters directly anticipated. So our mission here might take longer, basically.
Just so Starfleet Command knows what we're doing.
Why has the Vanguard been there for 2 weeks patrolling the system? Oh, it's because we're determining whether it is legally allowed or potentially even legally required to help them set up a new government system.
Yeah,
right.
we came here thinking that we were just going to set up some comms relays.
Yeah.
We came to set up comms relays, not set up a government.
Yeah. And they said no to the comms relays.
Yeah, and they said no to the comms relays, so our hands are tied.
I updated the scene guide, so there are extended tasks to convince each of them.
Okay.
Some of the tasks are impossible right now, and some of them have really high resistance. To fix that, you can create traits representing different elements of your suggested government.
Okay.
The more in line it is with what a faction wants, it'll improve your chance or your ability to convince them.
Here's a question: Does the trait that I created about finding out more about the Romulan defectors, does that impact that difficulty?
At least for the Romulans.
For the Romulans, because they're at Diff 6 right now.
I'm going to allow command team and the defector interview to apply in their relevant situations as extra work, but not as adjustments to difficulty, because they will help you make progress, but the resistances, those things aren't really addressing their concerns, so
fair
it's
enough.
not affecting the difficulty.
Yeah, nope, fair enough. Thought I would throw that out there because it's something I have.
Yeah. It's worth asking.
So I guess we'd call this a new scene.
New scene drops to 3.
This is the remote on it.
Zoom out. Pull myself onto the board. Where am I? There I am. Boop. Clicky, click. There we go.
Krasik is helping as well on this.
Is this for convincing the folks?
No, this is for drafting a government proposal.
Okay. I think I'll still be on the planet talking to people and
Okay.
so because it's about
Yeah,
it's about time
'cause-
anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you said we want to establish traits that'll help us here.
Yeah, traits that represent the different elements of your government proposal.
Okay. I'd like to propose United Representational Republics as a form of government.
Meaning that
Right.
people don't elect the Federation Council member from this planet. The individual groups, like the groups as a whole, elect
Mhm.
them.
That
Kind of like the old system for U.S. senators.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Since they seem to value some sort of separation here, so rather than a representative democracy, they can form each of these parties as basically a republic.
Yeah, because I think the federation requirement is as so long as the council member is elected democratically in some form to represent the planet's interests to the federation and communicate federation issues to the planetary members. That's how Betazoid, even though it has noble houses, can elect a federation council member.
Yeah.
That'll make this possible for the Romulans and the Molotians, because it doesn't require the Romulans to acknowledge they're not the Romulan Republic or the Romulan Empire. They still get to have the fiction of being a separate government that's just like partaking in a multi-government agreement.
Yeah.
And it doesn't require the Molotians to cede any current legal authority they have. They're
Cool.
this is just them
Entering into a new agreement with the other
yeah.
parties. Yeah. Okay. So I need to do a roll to make that.
Yes, that
trait.
would be we'll do presence command on these because it's your ability to sell these ideas.
Okay.
Although this is going to be Anafina, because you're probably going to be doing the actual convincing. Anafina's the one doing the draft.
All right.
Or Fox. I mean, if Fox wants to be helping with the draft, he may want to help on the actual extended tasks. Oh,
or are these simultaneous, not sequential?
Trait creation, so it'll be difficulty 2. Yes, because you're doing preparatory meetings with them. So while you're doing that, like Anafina's also writing up the proposal, you're doing the handshaking prep work that needs to be done to get them to the table.
Gotcha. Can I assist on the roll still?
Not as the captain. You can have as a different scene, you can bring a supporting character into the scene.
Gotcha.
Although I don't think y'all have made any kind of JAG officer yet.
No, we
Nope.
haven't.
Best we've got is our counselor who has an ethics focus.
Not a terrible idea if their presence command isn't bad.
No.
That could be
no.
bad, yeah.
It's
And
like
Athena, how's your
almost-
presence command? I'm assuming not great.
It's almost their worst stat.
My presence command is a total of 13.
Okay.
I have
Not
high
too bad.
command, but my presence is okay. It's been dipping slowly.
Your
Oh, no.
You do have a complication range though.
Yeah, my range increases because I'm Borg. I have Borg implants.
I can't-
It goes
I
up by
can't
2.
believe it. I can't believe it, but if you want someone with good presence command, Evelyn Fox has a 14.
Yeah, go
And-
for it.
And Athena would be pulling for whoever was showing capability according to the system, and she would not blink twice on an augment assisting her. She doesn't hold
Well,
that.
even that, that's word of mouth. I actually, Anafina has personally seen her do things that are outside the realm of physical possibility for most humans. But
She could be just cybernetically augmented. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anafina doesn't actually know for sure that's the case. But we do know Evelyn Fox is a teacher, but it's totally reasonable to also to say that to learn that she's that's her passion, but her degree is much higher. Like that, like she might be a someone credentialed in political science.
Yeah, I totally pull her in because it's I need as many eyes and different information to catch things because I might miss things.
Yeah, and you know what? You probably would have heard it from Jasper. Like, you know what? This is what my wife did her master's on.
I'm drawing up a support as well that I can pull in.
Okay. I'll make a sheet out of the command division, and if you get it made before we finish up here, bring them in.
Yep. I'll see if I can grab a token real quick, so I can at least get
And
someone
this
into the
is-
scene.
And this is second activation, so I think this is where I actually do get something, right?
So I was thinking of.
I'll add political science as a focus.
I was thinking. I may not have a focus here, but I'll pitch it anyway. I'll pitch 2 ideas. One is of my focus in xenolinguistics, because it's the formation of the law, but it's also translating it in languages that each understands in their legal system. So Federation
I
standard.
will take
and then
that
Runtime.
because this is not a what you're suggesting isn't an unprecedented political system, but
Yeah.
it does have to be airtight in Federation standard, Romulan, Klingon, Molossian, and Ferengi.
Yeah, I don't
And it
want.
needs to mean generally the same thing in all of those.
Very good. I will link in with my implant into the ship to help me with to bring the ship in to assist me.
All right.
Grabbing, since one regular person assisting me and I do want another one, I'll spend for a second person to be assisting.
Hold off on spending that until they actually have a sheet to roll. Like they're making the sheet, but I don't want to hold us for 10 minutes to finish that, so they can come on the next roll if the sheet's finished.
Mhm.
But there's no reason to spend that now if they don't have stats to help roll with.
Oh no, my thing still fires because I have 3. Yeah, okay, no, I'm not as worried about that. Then in that case, yeah, I will spend toward the value. There's two different values I could use here. But one I'll try to pitch, because I haven't used it before, is the value of all are right, all are wrong. Because philosophically, she thinks that there's this idea that each individual member can have a very unique, very strong idea as to what's actually the correct path. But in the same breath saying, well, you all individually may be correct, but collectively you may be incorrect. And there's that play of how do we get to a meeting part where we can be all right, all wrong, but it's still to our collective benefit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's gonna fire all the time. But I was like, it's her primary value, so I was like, yeah, I should try to pitch it at some point.
Yeah.
I will throw 1 threat and 2 momentum to buy some additional dice. I do have a focus. The ship and a person is helping me, so parent figure does fire. Cortical array fires. Do I want to spend more? It's only diff 2. I'm just trying to hit. I'm swinging pretty hard. So, bam. That's probably the one I'm going to kill. But the ship may screw up. Computers command or communications command?
Computers command.
Okay.
And
Ship whiffs.
and you want an assist from Evelyn?
Please.
Focus in political science.
Yep.
Which I just added to her. That happens before the end of the session, right? Or does
Yeah, it happens when you activate them the
fit her?
second
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Also, you could spend an additional crew support to also... Actually, no, this isn't relevant anymore. You would have spent it last week. You could have upgraded her instantly. So, no, I take that back. You upgrade them at the end of the episode. The only time you get to upgrade during the episode is if the first time they show up, you spend 2 crew support.
Then, okay, no focus in political science right now.
Yeah.
Focus in history.
Yes.
Okay.
As an assist, she can provide historical insight to the pitfalls that this type of government can run into.
And that was just a nat 1. That wasn't even I didn't even need my focus for that one.
I'm going to parent figure my 20 away because there's at least 2 people assisting me. So that is 3 hits on a diff 2.
Does it just say 2 assists? It doesn't say 2 other characters or anything like that?
I'll triple check.
Just making sure the language doesn't exclude.
Crap. No, you're right. When attempting or assisting a task, 2 or more other characters are involved. It's the first complication. So the ship assist me actually doesn't. Unless the ship is sentient and constitutes a character, I don't think it counts.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Give it a century.
Yeah.
3 for 3.
I have everything except for the character sheet now. Not the character sheet, fuck. The everything except for the token now. Yeah. Still working on the token. But technically I could roll.
I think you're short 2 focuses.
I'm currently pasting those in.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, as you can go ahead and roll once both of those are in. Assist, obviously that costs an additional momentum.
Yeah, that's why I made sure to hang on to that just in case you got it finished in time. I was like, I'm going to hang on to that momentum just in case I can fire that assistance later.
Yeah, the focus will apply.
Focus and law, cool. Presence command.
Just don't roll another complication. Because I can't kill 2. What did I just say?
Oh, wow.
What did I just say?
Terrible news for you.
What did I just say?
You know, you're not helping the stereotypes. The JAG officer walks in, opens their mouth, and complications flow.
Well, I kill at least one of them, so there's that.
Mhm.
Whose you do.
Wonderful.
Because that'll tell me whether it's in translation or it's actually fundamental legal issue.
I'll kill mine.
Okay. So is Jag giving threat or taking the comp?
Right.
All right.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So I think 3 momentum generated.
Yeah.
And you create the trait of unified representational republics, or united representational republics. You could still create other traits. Actually, I think it's better, and I probably should have done this before you rolled,
Mhm.
but learning process. I'm going to say we're going to close out on Anafina and Evelyn and the new JAG officer, writing out the initial preamble with you, if you will, or
Drafting.
well, I wasn't thinking draft. I was thinking mission statement.
Oh yeah.
A couple of paragraphs at the beginning saying like, this is why we're doing this. This is what it's for. This is the guiding principle.
Yeah, it's the preamble.
Yeah.
And we will pick up next week because there's no way we're going to get through the rest of it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say,
fair.
boy,
less
how are
than
we
2
getting
or 3 hours. Because I intended this to be, I knew this was going to be a multi-part
deal? Yeah.
but I was, but that wasn't at the front of my mind, and so I was about to get caught up, and it was about to be
Mhm.
10:30 before we were done, or
Yeah.
11:30 Eastern before we were done. So
All right. Well,
there we go. That's the end of part 1.
For everyone watching out there, thank you very much for watching. For those of you playing and running, thank you very much for doing so. And let's hope we manage to create a mini federation elsewhere in the stars. And see you next time. Bye.
Finish this person.
And now I can add the political science focus to this sheet.
You know how much I had to like think and theorize over what are outcast Klingons, but Klingons that could still be a violent threat if they needed to be an escalation. Because their first thought is, let's do Klingons that are totally opposites. These are peace loving. These are love, sex, and rock and roll, or whatever kind of Klingons.